hi, a very happy good evening. So this is Krishna Ma'am and we're talking about the story of life on earth, and that's biology. So thank you so much for joining my new beginning series today. So today we're going to discuss some questions from genetics. For the last two classes we have been talking about theories, so we have been talking about crosses, but how will it come in the form of a question? That is what a lot of students look forward to, right? So you people all want help in solving questions, because theory you seem to be understanding, but only when you have to solve problems, only when you have application being used, you have a problem, right? So here to overthrow every obstacle in our way, so here I'm going to discuss some basic problems. So when you talk about Mendelian genetics, so I have been discussing theories, right? So I spoke about inheritance of one gene and inheritance of two genes. So based on your inheritance of one gene and inheritance of two genes, we are going to talk about problems today. So I have almost 10 problems with me today, and we are going to solve. They are very simple. Hi Nishrag, yes, a very happy good evening, a very happy good evening Nishrag. Yes, I'm doing good. How about you? So thank you so much for joining my session today. So please do like, share and subscribe. So I hope you're doing good, Nishrag. Yes. Okay, so Nishrag is here because I told him we'll have a mentee, but I really apologize. I couldn't bring a mentee. I instead got a questionnaire session, so probably the mentee is postponed to next week. I'm really sorry, Nishrag. So I guess that is the reason you are here and your message popped up. Is that so? Yes? Okay, fine. So let's go into the practice problems of genetics. So I have very simple problems. So if you finish it off, or if you try solving, we can be done in another 20 minutes. So we'll be done with the entire session. So that quick it's going to be, because the problems are really simple. So here, let's go. Okay, so yeah, Nishrag, so looking at your name, it struck me. I'm really sorry. So the mentee in human physiology will be there next week, probably on Wednesday. Okay, yes. Fine, so let's move forward. So practice question in genetics. So before we go to the practice question in genetics, so let me give you a quick recap of whatever I taught you. So what are the ratios that you have to remember? So all that I'll give you a recap so that it's easy. Hi Natasha, hello, a very happy good evening. So after a long time you are here. I hope you're doing good. So thank you so much for joining my lecture today. So please do like, share and subscribe. Yeah. So I'm giving you a quick recap of whatever I taught so far in genetics. So we have been talking about inheritance of one gene. So inheritance of one gene, so you have, yes Nishrag, I'm going. So here you should remember the phenotypic ratio. Here the phenotypic ratio is 3:1. So 3 tall plants and 1 dwarf plants. And then genotypic ratio, here the genotypic ratio is 1:2:1. So here 1 starts with homozygous dominant, that is capital T. So 2 stands for heterozygous condition, so that is capital T, small t, and 1 stands for homozygous recessive, that is small t. Right? So these are the ratios that you should remember. But sometimes you have to do a test cross also. So you take the F1 parent and you cross it with a recessive parent, right? So you take an F1 offspring and you cross it with a recessive parent. So this will be your offspring, right? Because here it can be capital T, small t. From here there is only one gamete. So these are the offsprings of your test cross. So the phenotypic and the genotypic ratio is same in case of your test cross, right? Fine. So later we went on to talk about your incomplete dominance. So in case of incomplete dominance, when we spoke about Antihyrinum or the dog flower species, so here we have the phenotypic and the genotypic ratio to be the same. That is 1:2:1. Right? So this one stands for your red flowers. So this is homozygous dominant, and this stands for your homozygous recessive, that is white flower, and this is the one that is incompletely dominant. So this is your pink flowers, right? So after your dog flower, we also spoke about another example, that is the starch synthesis in your pea plants. That is also an example of incomplete dominance. When it resembles, it does not resemble either of the parent, right? So next we went on to talk about your codominance. So in your codominance, when the F1 offspring resembles both the parent, right? So here the gene is I and this gene has 3 alleles, right? So what are the 3 alleles? So it is A, it is B and it is small I. So these 2 are dominant over this. This does not produce any sugar, whereas this produces the sugar A and this produces the sugar B. But when you have both of the dominance 1 expressed, then you have the AB blood group, right? So this is an example of codominance as well as multiple allelism. So then we moved further. So we went on to talk about inheritance of 2 genes. So inheritance of 2 genes, so here we are taking 2 characters, so that is why 2 genes. So here we mostly take round with yellow. So round seed which is yellow in color, green seed which is wrinkled in color, right? So the dominant one is your round seed which is yellow in color. The other one is wrinkled seed which is green in color. So here the F1 offspring is a heterozygous, right? So the F1 offspring is like this. It is heterozygous, but hence it is still dominant round yellow. But this produces 4 types of gametes. So the gametes here are capital Y, capital R, capital Y, small y. So small r, capital Y, small r, small y. So you have 4 types of gametes which is produced in the ratio 1:1:1:1. Right? So I can write it like this instead. Yes, so what is the phenotypic ratio of your dihybrid cross? So the phenotypic ratio of your dihybrid cross is 9:3:1. So here 9 talks about round yellow. So this talks about round green. So this talks about wrinkled yellow, and this is your complete recessive one, that is wrinkled green, right? So here these 2 are your recombinants. So 6 out of 16 are your recombinants here. Fine, clear? Right? Yeah, very good, Nishrag. 9:3:1. So this is what we were talking, and based on this only I have the question. So let's move forward. Yeah, your recap is done. So now let's solve the questions. So the first question, back cross is a cross between which of the following options? F1 into F1, that is selfing, or F1 into recessive, or F1 into dominant, or F1 into any parent. So which is the right answer here? Which is the right answer here? So back cross is a cross between F1 into F1, we call it as selfing, right? So the right answer here would be, what is a back cross? Question 1, option 4. No, I am asking about a back. Okay, so back cross, right, you're very right. So this is option 4. Into the recessive parent is a test cross. Into a dominant parent is an out cross. And this is your back cross. Yes, absolutely right, Nishrag. Yes, option 1, question 1, option 4, that's absolutely the right answer. So into any of the parent is a back cross, into the recessive parent is a test cross, into a dominant parent is an out cross. Yeah, very good. So here we go to question 2. So question 2, a cross between the ones that is shown here yields a genotypic ratio of which of the following? Yes, quick, take your time, but give me the answer. So I have given you the parents here. So cross between this will give you some offsprings, right? So match that offsprings with the given options and give me the answer quick. Quick, what will be the answer? Question 2, option 1. Okay, so how did you solve? So I have this. So I am writing the first parent. It is dihybrid. So for this, the gametes can be A or B. For this, the gamete can be only B, right? So here it is AB and AB. I have 2 gametes from the first parent, right? So these are my gametes. So from the second parent, so both are homozygous, so I have only 1 gamete. So now I multiply this with this. So I have 1:1. So now look into the options. So if you look into the options, so this is perfectly matching, right? Capital A, small a, capital B, small a, capital B, capital B. So this is the right answer. Yes, Nishra, you're absolutely right. So I hope you guys understood how to solve this question. Yes? Fine. So let's go to question number 3. In a monohybrid cross, ma'am, will you also conduct a Mentee on genetics? Yes, of course. We'll have Mentee chapter wise, we'll have Mentee unit wise, so don't worry. Alright, yes? Fine. So in a monohybrid cross, what is the ratio of homozygous dominant and homozygous recessive individuals in the F2 generation? Yes, quick, can you give me the answer? Yes, quick. So what is the ratio of homozygous dominant and homozygous recessive individuals in the F2 generation? So which option given here is right? Come on, quick. Option 4, yes, absolutely right. So very good. But how did you get? So we are talking about a monohybrid cross. The ratio of homozygous dominant and homozygous recessive in the F2 generation. So in the F2 generation, we have like this, right? So this is 1:2:1. So homozygous dominant is this, homozygous recessive is this. So homozygous dominant and recessive ka ratio is 1:1. So here the right answer is option D. Yes, absolutely right. So here we are into question 4. So question 4 says, what is the ratio of a progeny of a cross between the F1 heterozygous and recessive? Yes, 3:1, 1:2:1, or 1:1 or 2:1. So what is the ratio of a progeny of a cross between F1 heterozygous and recessive? Oh, thank you, Nushrad. So I like this part about you. So you enjoy the questions that I bring, you enjoy the Mentee I conduct. So you are completely happy because you're so much into biology. I really like teaching you. Yeah. So you say option 3, yes, because this is a text cross, right? So F1 heterozygous, this is your F1 heterozygous into the recessive parent. So I get 2 offspring. So it is 1:1. So this is nothing but a test cross. Yes, option 3 is the right answer. Very good. So here we go to question 5. So how many gametes are produced in the F1 generation of a trihybrid? So I have the first option is 3, 4, 8 and 16. So trihybrid, tri is 3 when I have 3 different characters which is controlled by 3 different genes. Yes, quick. So how many gametes will be formed in a trihybrid cross? Come on, so what would be the answer? So, for example, when we write capital R, capital Y, capital Y, so this is dihybrid. Suppose if I have trihybrid, so it will be like this. So this is trihybrid. Yes, question 5, option 3, right? So when I say a trihybrid, the trihybrid can be in the heterozygous condition as well. So if it is there in the heterozygous condition, so whichever cross, if it is in the heterozygous condition, the gametes will be 2 power n. So n is the number of characters that you choose. So here the number of characters that we choose is 3. So 2 power 3 is 8. So the number of gametes in a trihybrid cross generally is 8. So when you say this, so here in the F1 generation, we had 4 gametes, right? So 2 power 2 is 4. So here 2 power 3, that is 8, right? Okay, so here we go to question 6. So we are almost nearing the end. I told you, no, we'll be done in 20 minutes. In a cross between a pure tall plant with green pod and a pure short plant with yellow pod, how many short plants are produced in the F2 generation? 1, 3, 4 and 9. Yes? 1, 3, 4 and 9. Ma'am, can you also bring a video on how to read NCERT and make important notes of it? How to read NCERT? So you want to tell me how to decode NCERT? Okay, I'll think about it, Nushrag. I'll think about it and I'll work on it. Yes, your suggestion is taken, because reading NCERT is what everyone will benefit, right? Even term 1 students who are preparing for term 1, term 2, and as well as NEET students. Okay, so yes. So I will bring a session on how to read NCERT and make notes on your NCERT. Yes, absolutely fine. Yes. So what is the answer for question number 6? Yes, Nishrag. So in a cross between a pure tall plant with a green pod and a pure short plant with a yellow pod, how many short plants are produced in the F2 generation? 9 plants. 9 plants. You say option 4. Okay, so here we talk. So pure tall plant with green pod. So we consider tall plant with green pod has dominant. Okay, and tall plant and a pure short plant with an yellow pod. So this is recessive, right? So how many short plants are produced in the F2 generation? This is nothing but your dihybrid cross. So in your dihybrid cross, at the end of the F2 generation, the phenotypic ratio is 9:3:1. So these two have short plants, right? Because these two were wrinkled green and wrinkled yellow. So here 3 plus 1 is 4. So 3 plus 1 will have the recessive character, recessive expression of the first character. Here the first character is tallness, the first character is height. So you want to find the recessive allele of this character, that is short plants. So here in 9:3:1, so 3 plus 1 are the recessive ones of the first character, that is height. So here the right answer will be option 4, not option 5. Yes, Nishrag, no issues, but please learn it. Right, so here we go to question 7. So I have a genotype here on the board. How many types of gametes will be formed? So 4, 8, 2 and 6. Quick. So I have a genotype on the board. So it is a trihybrid genotype. So how many gametes will be formed? Hi Prince, yes, a very happy good evening. So thank you so much for joining my lecture today. So please do like, share and subscribe. Option 1, yes, right, but how? Okay, for all those who have a doubt as to how. So I told you if it's a trihybrid, it is 8. But I've told you if it's a trihybrid heterozygous, it is 2 power n. Otherwise, it is not 2 power m. So I have this trihybrid. I will split it into the 3 characters. So this is homozygous. So the gamete will be only 1a, right? So here it will be b and small b because it is heterozygous. So now this B can have capital C as well as small c. This B can have capital C as well as small c. So here the gametes can be AB capital C, AB small c, A small b capital C, ABC. So the right answer is 4. Yes, Divyansh, very good. You're right. Good. So Prince says option 1, right. So you guys got it right. So here we go to question 8. So on crossing of black and white flowered plants, the ratio of black and white flowered plants in the F1 generation is 120:40. Then on selfing the heterozygous black flowers, the offsprings would be 144:48, or 40:60, or 52:48, or 84:16. Yes, quick. So on crossing black and white flowered plants, the ratio of black and white flowered plants in the F2 generation. So I am considering only a single character. So this is a monohybrid cross, right? So here in the F2 generation, the ratio is 3:1. So 120/40 is nothing but 3:1. Right? Now, if I do the selfing of the heterozygous black flower, that is nothing but I am repeating the F2 generation once again, right? So, heterozygous black flower. So, let's go here. So, I have a black flower. So, I consider this is dominant and the white flower has small b, small b. So, now the gamete will be capital B and small b. So, the F1 offspring will be capital B, small b. So, for the F2 generation, I do selfing. So I make the gametes like this. So here the ratio is 3:1 phenotypic ratio. That is your 120:40. Now they are saying, again, if the heterozygous black flower is selved, again you will get the ratio as 3:1. So from the given option, see which reduces to 3:1 perfectly. Yes, ma'am, a very, very happy good evening. So thank you so much for joining my lecture today. So please do like, share and subscribe. So here, this is what reduces to 3:1. So 48 into 3 is 144. So this has to be in the ratio 3:1. So you don't have to arrive at the complex numbers. It is very simple. They are asking you the F2 generation, phenotypic ratio. The phenotypic ratio is 3:1. So from the given one, which is 3:1, option A. So the right answer would be option A. So you guys understood? In your monohybrid cross, the F2 phenotypic ratio is 3:1. So they have given this as 120:40. That is nothing but 3:1. Again, they are asking what will be if I further cross it or self it. Further, if I self the F1 generation, again it will be 3:1. The ratio will never change. It is not going to become 6:2. 6:2 is again 3:1, right? So the right answer will be option 1 alone, right? So shall we go to the next question? So probably this is the last question for the evening, and it's also the easy question. So I just want to keep less number of questions so that the lecture is short, so that you can re-see it again or you can view it again for your advantage, okay? Yeah, you save time. The moment you learn tricks, the moment you become strong in concept, you save a lot of time. So that is the main reason. So I take Menti for only 25 seconds each question. That is the main reason. Yes, Nishrag, very good. So don't worry. So I will very soon come with a Menti, very, very soon. So since now the classes have shifted to alternate days, it's a bit tough, but otherwise I would definitely bring up Menti. So next week, definitely we are having a Menti quiz. All right. Yes. Fine. So the last question for the evening, the percentage of AB gametes produced by the parent, so and so, that is given on the board, is 12.5, is 25, 50, and the last one is 75. So since they have asked you the percentage, so this is 12.5 percentage, this is 25 percentage, this is 50 percentage, and this is 75 percentage. So now tell me what will be the percent here? Quick. Option 2, yes, you're absolutely right. Good. So for all the others who still do not know how to solve, so the parent is capital A, small a, capital B, small b. So it is a heterozygous parent for a dihybrid condition. So here the gamete can either be capital A or small a. So capital A into capital B, capital A into small b, small a into capital B, small a into small b. So when you talk about the inheritance of two genes, that is your dihybrid cross, the F1 offspring, we find the gametes. So much in the same way you have to find. So you have 4 gametes, and this gamete AB is produced in 1 ratio. So this is 1:1:1:1:1. So this is 25%, this is 25%, this is 25%, this is 25%. So here the right answer is 25%. So inheritance of 1 gene and 2 gene is clear? Yes. So in the next class, I will be solving questions based on polygenic inheritance, pleiotropy, etc. and genetic disorders. So probably I will touch upon your chromosomal theory of inheritance, linkage, mapping, polygenic and pleiotropic. So directly I will give the recap in one slide, and I'll start with the problems, because problems is when you start to understand the lecture better, right? So then on Wednesday, probably we will finish off with the pedigree analysis. So again, I'll bring a lot of questions. And next week, Friday, we will have a Menti quiz, so that it is easy. So we are done with one complete unit, right? So we'll also have a Menti for term 1, for your CBSE term 1 exam. So today is 10th, so you still have 8 days. So accordingly, I will plan and bring up a Menti for term 1 biology for class 12. All right. So I guess this is my last slide. So with this, we are done with today's lecture. So if you genuinely like my way of teaching and my way of solving problems, so please do like, share and subscribe. I will meet you on I'll meet you on Monday at 4 p.m. So until then, please have a great weekend. So for all those who are appearing for your exams, for your CBSE class 10 and class 12, so all the very best. So please take care. Please solve questions, so please read a lot of corresponding NCERT notes, make up a lot of notes, draw the diagrams, solve problems, ask me if you have doubt in the problems. The more you brainstorm, the more the concepts become clear. So get back to me on Monday at 4 p.m. So until then, this is me signing off. So thank you and bye.